up Vintage Video Game Systems 101. Here's a site that you might not have seen in a couple decades. The old spade connector, well, I don't know, forky connector, VHF, UHF antenna connection. This is on the back of the Daytron 505a portable TV, of course. And looking at this, just to give you a little more detail, I've got another old RF box right here. What you need to hook an Atari 2600 up to one of these things is this. A computer game switch box. I might try and experiment later with the 8-bit Nintendo Switch box since nobody's tried it yet. I've got a gender changer and I'd like to see if you can activate the automatic RF with a Atari 2600. It just might be possible. Might have run across something revolutionary that way. This is an older version. Definitely new old stock 1980s. Has a switch right here. You flip that to computer for computer, which would be the Atari in this case, or TV for TV. You have two of those connectors down there. Your TV antenna hooks to this. And when I say antenna, I mean rabbit ears. Although you can get an adapter to hook up coax to it. And it's got a little RCA connector on top and two spade connectors over here. The spade connectors are what hooks the console up to the TV. And as you can see, you just unscrew those little contacts and these little things just slip in right underneath the screws. Mine doesn't have that anymore. The one that I'm using, because it's the one that actually works, which is one of the old Radio Shack switch boxes. I've had this since about like 1996, I think. It's really beat up. The label's almost gone. It's been desecrated by cat pee and water and all kinds of caustic substances. This is the newer version that Radio Shack used to sell with the coax connector on one end, which I've had to recrimp about 50,000 times. Another coax connector on the side for your cable wire. But still has the old RCA connector on top for your Atari 2600 to plug into, and the old spade terminal, which I stuck, I believe it was like a 50 ohm resistor across to improve the signal to noise ratio on there. And then of course it all just plugs right in here under the VHF frequency band. This TV's got a weird thing on it that's internal external antenna. So yeah, once that's hooked up, you've basically got yourself most of the way there. Next thing I'm going to put up here is the power supply. It's a 9-volt direct current power supply. This is what runs the Atari 2600. It's got some sort of connector on the end that if I can pull it out from back here I can let you see it. Really did not plan this scene very well, did I? Yeah, it's a very, very teensy weensy tiny mono plug. Monophono plug, as they call it. I forget which pin's positive and which one's negative. It doesn't matter unless you're wiring your own anyway. And this just plugs in the back of the unit. And of course you shouldn't have this mess without the unit itself. In this case we've got the Sears Telegames Video Arcade, which is the Sears labeled version of the original 6-switch Atari 2600. This one's not a heavy 6er, it's a light 6er. You have all the different controls on here. You have your power switch right here, color and black and white switch, which will actually come in handy for the first time probably in 30 years on this thing. Your novice expert switch, skill level switch, which is usually the left difficulty switch, cartridge slot, standard issue, the right difficulty switch, game select, and game reset. And back here you have your left controller and right controller, which are just standard DB9 D-shell connectors, and your power port right here. And then on these old Ataris like this one, you have on at least the light Sixers, I don't think this is on the heavy Sixers, you have your channel select wiring, which is channel A and channel B. And way up in there, I don't even think I can make it visible in the vid. I'm going to try, but I doubt it's possible. Way up in that hole somewhere, down there, way up in that hole, there is a switch that you can flip with a screwdriver. I've got it switched to antenna B because I've got it switched to, let me see here, switch to antenna A, which is channel A, which is channel 2. Later consoles actually put the numbers on there. This doesn't have the numbers. So you want to switch this one to channel A or channel B, whichever one has the least interference. Now I've got the Atari conveniently placed on the back of the set. First thing you do, you plug in your RCA plug from the back of the Atari into the RF switch. Set that to game. There we go. Now we got the other part. It's tangly of wire. Take this, your power connector, that little bitty phono plug I showed you, and it goes right up here in the power adapter plug on the Atari console. And there you go, you're ready to play. Which game should I start with here? Well, first off, I'm not using an Atari joystick. I'm using this strange pistol grip, neon colored Uber 80s thing with its own turbo on it, I think. I don't know, it looks like a turbo switch, so that's what I'm assuming it is. It's even got suction cups on the bottom. Go figure. Which game first? I think I'll pick Adventure. Alright, let's play that. Let's put that up in there. Power that on. Turn our TV to channel 2. And there we go. There we go. We found the sword, I think it is. There's a white key. Oh, it's a black key. Let's go in here. Maybe the chalice is in here, and this will be a short. Oh! Reset. Oh, a little Keystone Capers. God, it's hard to see crap on this little black and white screen. Well, I ran into something, and I couldn't see it. Catch up with the robber. Should save me a few extra seconds there. Caught him! Don't know what this is. You have never played Atari before, apparently.